Good evening. All right. What year is it? Oh, good. It's 2000. Phantom Menace on VHS. Jar Jar Binks, y'all. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Yeah. Sing it with me. Let me hear you. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. Oh, all right. Not bad. Give it up for your host, Mark Hornback, the well Hungarian. Well, all right. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. I'm gonna see you at the fun. What? Wash your jeans, bring your notebook, bring your jokes. We got a microphone at the phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Is this thing off? Oh, you're laughing at me. Still counts. Phone simulation, yeah. Phone simulation 2000. I can't hear you. I can't hear you in the mic. All right, let's get this night started. I know you came to have a good time. Yeah, practice your jokes now. I'm on the seat over there. Phone simulation 2000. 9/11 hasn't happened yet. I think better to vote.
You're muted, Mark.
I'm muted. Thank you. Welcome to Fun Simulation 2000. This is Ian. Ian dances the whole time, but I just realized watching on the stream on my phone that nobody can see it on the stream, and even though I spotlit him. Sorry, Ian. Whoa, that was weird. Thank you for letting me know I was muted. It's probably would have been better just to let me stay on mute the whole time. That would be really interesting. Guys, we did it. We cured COVID. COVID is cured. You can go to Walgreens and get the shot now. It is great. Thank you, Mr. Donald Trump, for testing on yourself first. That was really kind of you. Very patriotic. Definitely deserve 4 more years. I'm sure all the votes will be counted eventually. I haven't even put in my ballot yet. So what's going on? Like, come on. I don't know who won yet. You can't say who won if I have a ballot waiting to arrive at my house still. That's where I'm at. Welcome everybody that's watching on the streams. We have 3 viewers right now. That's good. All the way from Chicago to Wisconsin. That's our viewing audience. And wherever Gregory's mom Betty is, where's Betty? Gregory, where is she?
She's in West Springfield, Massachusetts.
There we go. Massachusetts, Chicago, and Wisconsin. That is our audience. It's a group of international performers. Usually, I don't think so tonight. I think everyone's in the States tonight. But performers from across the country and broadcast just to 3 cities, just to local cities. That's what we're doing, going wide and bringing it in tight. We have a very short list tonight. No, I'm just kidding. It's an average size list, but it's packed with people I actually want to see jokes from, which is better than a lot of open mics. I want to not see jokes from half the people. So the rule is you have, oh, more people coming. I don't even know who this guy is. I'm letting people in the room right now. Amber and John, welcome. We just started, Amber and John. We are going to kick off in a second. I just looked for the list, the physical list next to me, like I was doing this in person. That it's the first time this happened. Like, where's the list? And I looked for my clipboard. I usually do it on a clipboard. So that's how far into this I'm losing my mind doing this Zoom comedy. But I think we're in it for another few months. I think it's going to take a while until everybody gets COVID, and then we can do it in person. I think we'll have mics for COVID positive people first. That will be what will come back in person, is everybody that tested positive can go up. I think we have a couple people here in the same room violating protocol right now. I hope you are both COVID positive. Otherwise, you guys are being dangerous. I'm just, you guys are super spreader event in California today is what's going on. No, we're gonna start this out, guys. We're gonna kick this off. Stick around to the end. You get to see every comedian do a speed round. It's really fun. Otherwise, please enjoy your first comedian from LA, Josh DiDonato.
Hey.
Yeah.
Mark. Yeah. I guess I'm still taking in, the news. I mean, it's been a week and a day, but it hit me a lot different than I thought it would. I will admit I voted for Joe Biden and told all kinds of people that I wanted him to be elected, which is what I thought, it's what I believed were my true feelings. But then when the news came, last Saturday, I realized I got to write a new stand-up act now. All my jokes for the last 4 years, gone. That's it. Everything that's killed for the last 4 years, done. And it's like, oh, okay. I suppose I'm supposed to get a point of view now. Great. A lot of fun. Did not see that coming. But I'm excited. I am that we're about to live in a socialist country. Woo! I don't want Joe Biden to keep his promises from the campaign. I want Joe Biden to keep the promises of what Donald Trump said Joe Biden would do if he were elected. Joe Biden's going to take away all your guns. Yes, I'm on board with that. Please. And Donald Trump said if Joe Biden's elected, he's going to hurt the Bible and hurt God. And I'll tell you what, that Bible has been asking to be taken down a notch or two for quite a while. And don't even get me started on God, huh? That guy is a little too big for his britches, if you ask me. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't have time for this other thing. All right. Don't dress up for Halloween. We do me a favor and not, well, I'm not going to ever again. I've told Laura about it. Yeah, I didn't dress up this year. 2019, really bad experience. I don't think I'm ever going to dress up for Halloween again. In 2019, I went for Halloween as a tranny. Really hard costume to pull off these days. I went to a party of some gay friends of mine, and I have to tell you, a lot of people nowadays just do not know what the transmission of a car even looks like. So, just a lot of questions. But what does it do? And I'm like, just forget it. Very bulky, the transmission costume. Yeah. I'm glad that we don't have to leave the country now. I was gonna move to England. I think a lot of Americans were thinking about that, which would be weird, like millions of Americans showing up for asylum in England, just like, hey, we're back. Probably they would have had to, build a wall or a moat, I guess, and have Scotland pay for it. I don't know. Anyway, thankfully, get to stay here, and now we can complain about Joe Biden, which is, a better quality of things to complain about. All right. See you later on in the broadcast.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh DiDonato. Oh, whoa, there we go. No, I think we all had those thoughts, right? We all were looking up what nationality we were, so that we could try to claim citizenship, on the at the consulate or whatever. I think the best part about doing that was going, all right, if he wins, I could probably work from home in another country. So let's pick a country that's cool. And then the next thought is, but they have to speak English. I'm not learning a new fucking language. Like the next step is like, I'm lazy as shit, and I'm not going to try to blend in with anyone's culture. If I'm moving as an American to another country, I'm going to be a fucking American wherever I go, which is going to be obnoxious. Our next comedian is a very red-blooded American, Ian Ryland Smith.
Thank you. My blood is quite red. Unless it's in the vein part. Then I hear it's blue when there's no oxygen. That's probably a myth, but I'll believe anything these days. Like, what day is it? The computer says November 15th, but I don't think I really know. I'm just gonna take its word on it. So I make musical intros for people's open mics now. So if you want a musical intro, hit me up. Or whoever wrote the Fun Simulation theme. I don't know. I get paid if you hit me up, hopefully. One of my first musical themes, he didn't ask me to do it, but I did it because I wanted to do it. So I spent an hour and 15 minutes on this thing, and he liked it. He really likes it. Told me he was playing it all night, and he gives me $10. He didn't have to do that, but $10, really? For an hour and 15 minutes worth of work? I used to work at Dairy Queen in South Dakota, and I made $10 an hour, which means I would get paid more money working at Dairy Queen than making music, which is something I went to college for. So if you ever have kids and they decide they want to do music, shut that shit down right now. Like, don't let them do it. Be like, your dreams are in the gutter. You're not going to do music. You got to shut that shit down. There's no money in it. Not even for the big names anymore. Spotify doesn't pay you. Well, they pay you $3 per 1,000 listens. Like, even Drake's not getting that much money. You expect him to be living in a penthouse? No, he's back at Walgreens. He's got to have 2 jobs. But he's got health care, so he lives in the first world. Lucky him. Anyway, what else do I got here? Incels. Incels are very fascinating. They fascinate me. What they have really is a disease, and I want to find a cure for the disease. I'm going to start a class. The class is going to be called Nice Tits Bitch is Not a Compliment 101. It's not. And lesson 1 is I'm gonna butter up that asshole and take a steep nosedive into there is not a way to pick up women. You start off with a compliment like, hey, you have very pretty eyes, or hey, I like that outfit. You have great style. That's a compliment. What's not a compliment is, man, with a nose like that, I'd really want to fuck your face.
What?
Yeah. That's what I like reading about these incels, because it makes me feel like even less of a beta male. Because at least I can point at them and point at me and be like, I'm the better man. All right, I think I'm out of time, but thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Ian Ryland Smith. Yeah, that was. I learned a lot. I learned things. I'll say that was a learning experience. I I don't wander into the parts of the internet that is full of incels, except I do belong to a lot of Facebook groups that are about cars, and it's very similar, and it's also very Trumpy, and it's great. And my favorite part about joining these right-wing adjacent Facebook groups where Confederate flags still are totally fine and tattoos and everything is when they call each other out for going too far. It's just nice to see that little. Somebody made a joke, and I won't repeat it, but it was very offensive. And it was basically about a person and using them for target practice. And then a guy with a Confederate flag, little, as his profile picture, behind him holding up two fish, like holding up two like bass that he caught, said, "Hey man, you're crossing the line. That's too far." And then someone else jumped on, and he just had a skulls and a thin blue line one, and he's like, "Yeah, man, that's not cool around here." And I was like, I think we're gonna be okay, guys. I think I don't feel as bad voting for Trump now. I'm just some of us are good people. Some of us are good. No, I'm just kidding. Our next comedian coming up, please welcome. Very happy to have him, Ralph Anthony.
Hey, all right, awesome. Thank you. I just found out about OnlyFans over the pandemic. I'm a little late to the party. It sounded like somebody clapped. Thank you, I guess. Okay. If you're not familiar with OnlyFans, it's a website that's basically like a virtual strip club. Like you can look as much as you want, but you still can't touch the girls. Like that's what it is. And I say that full well knowing that I look like a dude who frequents strip clubs. Like I give off strip club guy vibe. Like that's my vibe. But the problem with OnlyFans is that everyone can join. Everyone can get on. Everyone can be a member. Judging by some of the girls that I've seen on them, it looks like they are their only fan. I would actually pay them to keep their clothes on. I'd pay more if they added layers. That's kind of what I'm going with. If they added layers and a mask, I would pay as much as you need me to. And I don't mean like a normal face mask, like a COVID mask. I mean a Halloween mask. Just fucking cover that whole thing up. Cover the whole thing up. But we're so sex positive. We're so sex positive, and we've literally sexualized everything. Everything is sexualized now, especially social media. Like I can't go from Instagram to TikTok to OnlyFans without getting a hand cramp. It's not fair. It's not fair. Not only are we sex positive, but we're body positive too. We have to be. Listen, America is so body positive that we now have type 2 diabetes.
Oh. It's because we're going up.
Yeah, thanks. We now have type 2 diabetes. And the two really do go hand in hand because we even managed to sexualize food. We've managed to sexualize food. Yeah, we have a hashtag that we use called #foodporn. What kind of country are you where that's the hashtag that you go with? Like, it makes sense. It makes sense though because America is #1 in obesity and #3 in diabetes. So why hasn't anybody come up with like an OnlyFans but for food? Like, why haven't we done that? We sexualize everything else. We've sexualized food. Why can't we do it for this? Why isn't there an OnlyFans for? Because people would pay. People would pay. That there is some morbidly obese fat fuck out there that would pay someone to eat a pint or eat a half gallon of Rocky Road ice cream with a belt made of fruit by the foot around their neck. That there's somebody that's out there. That they would consider They would pay for a double penetration scene, but it would only a double penetration account, but it would only be somebody taking 2 insulin needles at once. Thank you all for being muted, except for Josh and Laura. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ralph. Oh man, I don't know how we could only be number 3 in diabetes. We got to step it up. I think that's just because of under-reporting and under-testing, though, because of there's so many people walking around that have to be like, I've seen people's feet, like they're swollen. It happens. All right, people, I'm going to stop making fun of people's medical conditions because I'm positive for our next comedian. Please welcome from Chicago, Jolly Bean.
Hey, once I was almost kicked out of a bar. I went inside the bar and the bartender was bragging to everybody. He said, I used to be on a very popular TV show. The show is a comedy, a tragedy. It's a thriller, a comedy, but also a tragedy. If you can guess what show that is, I will give you a free beer. So immediately I shouted, sir, I know which show that is. You were on To Catch a Predator, right? Yeah, and then everybody laughed, except the bartender. He said, well, it seems you like telling jokes. Well, I will give a very controversial topic. Donald Trump. If you can tell Trump jokes and nobody's protest against you, yeah, I will give you a free beer. But if anybody's protesting, you don't come to this bar anymore. That's a rather challenge. But then I think of this one. So one day, Donald Trump take a visit to the zoo. He went to see the rhino first, but it seems the rhino doesn't like him because the rhino just farted and walked away. Trump was so pissed. And later, a hippo walked past by. So Trump just shouted to the hippo, hey, sucker, you're hiding your horn this time. But I'm very smart. I can still recognize you. Suddenly, the hippo started speaking. Oh, dude, you really look like the president, but definitely you're not him. I am the real Donald Trump. You know how lucky you are to meet me today? But the hippo nodded. You know what? Trump, he has a middle name J. And once he said that J stands for genius. But obviously you are someone different. And somebody laughed, but at least nobody's protesting. And then I continued with this one. So Trump is a businessman. So I believe there's only one thing that can really give him a heart attack. That's money. So this is what Donald Trump is really afraid of. One day his Twitter account got hacked and the hacker left this message. To prove I'm the best president, I'm willing to give you every of you 1,000 from my own pocket, just waiting for the check. And people laugh that joke because who doesn't like free money? And then the waiter walked past by with plates of burgers. And then I suddenly think of this one. Remember, there was one time Trump invited the college basketball champion to White House and treated everyone with fast food. You know what happened the next day? There was still more than 100 burgers left. And so Trump just keep working on the burgers one by one and finish all of them within 3 days. You know what happened in the end? I get both free burger and beer. Okay, that's my time. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Jolly Bean. That was, I think as Trump's presidency is coming to an end and
I can still use most of the jokes. That's a good thing.
I think you could use those for, people did 9/11, people still do 9/11 jokes, so I think you could keep going for another 2 decades. But I think what we should do for Thanksgiving is everyone should be thankful for their favorite Trump moment of the presidency. And honestly, the
Yeah.
hamper for the college basketball was probably up there with mine. Just the picture of him with like the silver platters of hamburgers. truly the
Yeah.
the best
You
thing
know,
presidents
I-
ever done. That's the
yeah.
best.
Yeah. Actually, Trump is one of my inspirations because you can tell I'm not a native English speaker, but the Trump's English is actually not very advanced. So he encouraged me to keep doing stand-up.
I hope there's some children that are growing up right now learning English just from Trump. That would be great.
Oh no.
Where's our next comedian? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, you're under Josh D. Donato. I've been looking for you for 5 minutes. Our next comedian coming up is actually Laura Hug, even though she's performing under Josh D. Donato's Zoom. Please welcome Laura Hug.
Yay.
Thank you. Yes, I've been performing under Josh D. Donato for I'm like, I don't know what the attraction was. Is it all the times I've talked about my abortion in my act? I did come to Vegas. I did meet up here and go to the World Series of Comedy because nothing says like, hey, there's a global pandemic. Let's visit the nation's capital of health and wellness, Las Vegas, Nevada. That place is rough, man. It is rough. Yeah, but I did. I went on the plane. I wore 2 masks, 1 face shield. I wore wireless headphones and dangly earrings, and it is the closest that I am going to get to decorating a fucking Christmas tree in 2020. There is one thing I thought was interesting about Vegas is that you could gamble in the CVS. And I never knew what exactly. I've always been a Walgreens person, and now I used to think I didn't like CVS because of the carpet, but I realize now it's because it was missing slot machines. So yeah, it's I have been very grateful for my spiritual practice during this time, during the tumultuous time of the elections and all of the emotional roller coaster of this pandemic. And I do meditation. I practice meditation. My mind races and shatters. The Buddhists call that the monkey mind, and meditation stills that. And I definitely have a monkey mind because my mind races and shatters, and also I throw my feces. But you don't always know. I mean, meditation is like taking vitamins. You don't know they work until you go a week without them, and then all of a sudden you punch someone in the face. I discovered during this pandemic, where a lot of my friends are suffering despair, I have met this calamity with a certain measure of serenity, and for that I'm really grateful. What I wasn't prepared for is to meet other people with a certain measure of serenity and then be completely jealous that they're more serene. I'm like, I'm still inside, but that guy's really still. This is fucking bullshit. So, all right, that's really new, but it is true. Something I said at church today, which I also went to church on Zoom. I am going to church. I thought, I never planned on having a church because I thought I'd be dead by now, I mean, they warn you about dying young. What they don't warn you about is not dying young. So take heed. Where's my fucking pamphlet on that? I'm going to write it. So far, the only thing I've written in it is don't throw away your birth certificate. Which is one of the many wise decisions I made in my youth. I'm like, I'm never going to need this again, and then I did. So there you go. So don't throw away your birth certificate. After that, you're on your own. Figure it out. Thank you. I will say one thing, though. I did start therapy again. And, when I started therapy, I wanted to talk about my trouble with relationships. And she said, well, tell me about your parents. And I'm like, I wouldn't say I had parents, more like roommates, one of whom gave birth to me. But good news is, people, if you make it past 35, society tells you don't blame your parents. But if you make it past 35, you can start blaming them again. So just hold on to that. All right, that's all I have. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Laura, you were talking about not putting up decorations this year, and my household made the decision that we're not going to meet our family for Thanksgiving or Christmas. We're just going to celebrate in our apartment, and that's good news for most of my family because we are annoying guests at these events because, say it with me, we are vegetarians. So
Yay!
nobody has to make a special damn side dish for us. It's totally fine. I don't know why I even said that. Our next comedian coming up, please welcome back. Haven't seen her in a couple weeks.
Hello, hello. I just yeah. I live by myself in my own apartment now. Please don't come here and murder me. I should not have told you that, but I just find so many tchotchkes. Oh, it's the best. Let's check out this soap dispenser I have. It's a snail. I know. It's adorable. I love it so much, but I don't put soap in it. When I put it soap, I have this face cream and it's made of snail mucus, and I put it back in, and I feel it, everything is back home now. And it looks so beautiful. Everything is coming full circle. Cases are exploding. Let's see. Oh, but at least you know our hot body boom body Joe Biden, he won the election, so I can look at Jill Biden for 4 years. Oh, I'm so excited. She's such a pretty lady. I know, and she like has kids, and she's like 68, and she keeps it tight. Yeah, and I'm just happy that he won because nobody remembers the loser's spouse. Like I have, like, who is Hillary Clinton married to? Because I have no idea. See, nobody remembers who they're married to. Let's see. Oh, Kamala Harris, her husband is gonna be like the second gentleman to the United States. I'm so excited to talk about his fashion choices. That's, oh my God, all the criticisms. I'm gonna be like, can you believe he wore that pantsuit? I would never. And what about that fitted blazer? Oh man. Let's see, more political stuff. Out here in Oregon, we did it. We decriminalized all the drugs. That's so dope, right? Yeah, now if you get caught with drugs, you get $100 fine. Do you know how much a speeding ticket in Oregon costs? $270. I should have just done meth. What is I got another speeding ticket. Look how it's a camera. Look how happy I am. I know. So much zoom all around. This is more expensive than a crippling drug addiction. Let's see. Oh, now there's like a bunch of new Christmas romantic comedies on Netflix. My favorite is Midnight at the Magnolia, where two radio DJs, they fake a romance just for the ratings. And you know how it ends. They continue with it and they get Peabody Awards. That's exactly how the romantic comedy ends. Yeah, we can't, us Jews, we can't do a Hanukkah romantic comedy because it would just be like, it was a weeknight in December and he wooed her with socks. The end. Don't worry, there was another night, so it's okay, they were both busy. I don't know, let's see. People are doing like Zoom comedy like for the first time, and that's how they're starting comedy. And other people are just shitting on the comics, being like, oh, it's not real comedy. Well, neither was when you were on stage in person and we all left to go smoke cigarettes. So that wasn't real comedy either. So stop hating on the kids. I don't know, but I remember my first time doing comedy. Everybody who says they bombed their first time doing comedy, not me. I mean, I'm very funny, so I'm an outlier. Mine went fantastic. I know, because this guy in the audience, he was so smitten with me. I went back with him, and that's the story of how I lost my virginity. Yep, yeah. It hasn't gone that well ever again. I mean, I have spent years chasing the dragon, but I try. And it was a night of first time doing comedy, first time having sex. So I'm gonna say that I like the comedy better, man. I've gotten really into mocktails because I just get that devil poison out of my juice. But I'm afraid they're going to be making mocktails. That's just where you add alcohol to the mocktails. Anyway, I'm out of time. Thank you.
Yay. I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna bring up her next. I'm taking notes on her on how she lost virginity. That's all I'm gonna say. Our next comedian, please welcome Andrew Shanklin.
Yes, hello. I've been slacking off at my job lately, which is weird because I'm a teacher, so that's very different. Normally I show up to work and my kids are like, "Hey, we gonna get homework today?" And I'm like, "Funny story, the dog ate the homework I was gonna give you." And they're like, "What? This is great." Fun subversion of an old classic. I like when teachers, they're like, "Oh yeah, I teach the kids," but sometimes it feels like they're the ones teaching me. It's like the only things that my students have taught me is that I'm a huge pushover, Like it'll be like, "I hate your class, Mr. Shanklin." I'll be like, "You hate my class? We'll see how much you hate my class when I give you a B." Okay. I don't like in people date, they have this saying, they say, "Oh, just because there's a goalie doesn't mean you can't score." It's like, that's the whole point of a goalie, It's like, I'm bad at sports. You think I'm better with women? Like, the other thing people will say is like people who have like different sexualities, they'll say like, "Oh, they play for a different team." That's what they say. It's like, I'm a straight guy and I've talked to gay men. I think they're playing a different sport entirely. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on Grindr, but it's not anything I'm doing. Okay. One thing, I think it'd be funny if there was like therapy in the Middle Ages, because I think that like the only people that'd be able to afford it were royalty, and all they would talk about is incest, Like a priest would be like, "I'm like really attracted to my sister," and the therapist would be like, "Huh, do you think maybe that has something to do with the fact that your parents are also sinners?" I think that's kind of a funny joke about two things I love: therapy and history. Former presidents, they always are writing books. I think it'd be funny if instead of writing books about the presidency, they just like wrote a book in a different genre. Like if Jimmy Carter wrote a book that's like a Stephen King novel. He's like, all the Habitat for Humanity homes I built were also on Indian burial grounds. I'm running out of things that I want to tell you. People love to talk about free speech. It's like, yeah, it's free speech. It costs no money to do an open mic. Okay. I'm a teacher. Like I said, I teach middle school, which is funny. I don't think I'm far enough along in puberty to teach middle school. Like I'm like, "Hey, could you stay after class and teach me how to shave?" Like I never learned that. I never got that far. Okay. I see I have 1 minute left. Glad Joe Biden won, but I'm kind of disappointed there's not going to be a civil war, because now anytime something happens for the rest of my life, I'm going to be like, I could have died fighting for a better country, I think I'd be a good preschool teacher, but I also feel like it'd be a problem because I like the same things preschoolers like a little too much to like teach them, If I was a preschool teacher, all the parents would come to me the day of conferences and be like, "Mr. Shanklin, our kids told you that you're not sharing the Legos with them." Yeah, do I have to? Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew Shanklin. Andrew, your microphone changed and your voice just dropped really deep in the middle of your set. I just wanted to let you know that. And it was confirmed. Gary said he was hearing that too, which made it really funny when you said that you weren't far enough into puberty, but your voice sounded very, very deep. It was very awesome. I like it. Keep up the voice modulation. I'm sorry. We're gonna keep rolling, guys. I posted the list. We're about halfway through the list, and then the Fast Minute Comedy. It's an awesome time. Stick around. In the meantime, very excited for Yashar Coffee.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. I actually noticed Andrew's voice started to look like my neighbor who talks via microphone in a hole in her neck. It was a little disturbing. I think the lady had some kind of a cancer. I'm not trying to make. I'm just trying to tell you what it resembled. I'm not making fun of the neighbor, even though she's an asshole. Sorry. My name is Yashar, and I am from Iran. Thanks for not running away. Mark mentioned that he's surprised the United States is not country number one in the world. That's because you haven't visited Kuwait and Saudi Arabia. So if you go and see some of those morbidly obese, inbred retards, you realize why the United States is number one. I can make that joke because I'm from Iran, the axis of evil. We and the Saudis and Kuwait. Kuwaitis are bitches, they don't count, but we and the Saudis have been killing each other. So I can make those jokes. So don't try it at home. The progressives will castrate you and shove your testicles down your throat. So. I knew a guy. He was from Azerbaijan. We went to the same college. He never said he's from Azerbaijan. He was one of these self-loathing minorities who hated what he saw in the mirror. So he always said he's from Europe. He would say something. He would say in Europe, then he would say something stupid. He would say, in Europe, where I come from, we put garlic bread on jock itch, it goes away. Something. And then one time I pulled him aside and I said, why do you say Europe? Why do you not say Azerbaijan? He said, my friend, Azerbaijan is in Europe. I said, no, I know the area, 8% of Azerbaijan is in Europe, but let's say the whole Azerbaijan was in Europe, but by race, by language, by religion, by unibrows, by the smell of BO and cologne, and the way you fuck your wives, it's not Europe. Shut the fuck up. Don't tell me that's Europe. Which is okay. Just embrace what you are. Don't try to I'm fucking Iranian, axis of evil, car bombs, terrorism, missiles. That's okay. That's okay. Just say what you are. Don't change your identity. Go fuck yourself, you fucking goat herder. That's what I want to talk. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the laughter. People deal differently with the COVID. Like here, people say, yeah, we can't go to the restaurant or we can't go to a comedy club. My friend who lives in Cyprus, it's a little Greek island in Mediterranean. He said, COVID is getting really bad. I said, how bad? He said, the whorehouse closed. I said, the whorehouse? Yes. The whorehouse closed. I can't go rent vagina anymore. That's very beautiful that someone's concern is that he can't go and hire a hooker and get a BJ. That's fucking, it's very different, very different. He said it's customary to hire a prostitute every now and then. It helps your marriage. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I think that was my time. Thank you so much, guys. I was in that.
Thank you, Yashar. That was great. One of the only rules I have in this mic is you can say whatever you want, just no hate speech. And I don't know where to classify anything Yashar just said. So
I'm sorry.
It goes. It's free reign with Yashar. I don't know. I'm not going to censor him because it's funny. As long as you're funny. Our next comedian, he's taking COVID is taking a really big toll because he runs a whorehouse. Please welcome Don Fager.
Yeah, it's a crazy whorehouse here. It's kind of small. It's only 3 feet in front of the curtain and 1.38 feet behind it. So we gotta do what we can around here. Who's your favorite Star Trek captain? Yell him out. No favorite Star Trek captains? What are we doing?
Card.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks is your favorite captain? Did they let him be captain? They barely let him throw those little fucking goober grenades. The fucking giblons. The fucking giblonabbles. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm just if you're only gonna say Picard, I wanted to start a flame war. Let's see what do we got here. We got the pipes of the sewers. You must be proficient. Blah blah blah. You can expend 1 charge to call forth a swarm of rats. Oh, it's kind of mean. You're saying rats can only come from the sewers. All right, whatever. What's it? I just saw the word fashion and I got excited. No, you can't say what fashion the rats are wearing. I'm kind of angry about that. Nope. Play with theory. Portable hole. I tell you what, portable holes, they're more useful than you'd think, but never put a portable hole in a portable hole. A lot of problems. It's kind of taboo also. Don't do that. If you don't know, if you put 2 extra planar objects together within 10 feet, everyone's getting sucked into the astral plane. Yep. Hey, we got any D&D questions? I'm doing D&D stuff for another 2 minutes. I don't care what you say. We're on the internet. Hey, D&D questions? I can't see you, so you just have to say stuff.
What's D&D?
It's do not disturb on the phone there. Ring of Djinni summoning. You can summon an air elemental. Can it be a fart? I wanna have a fart go around. I want to have a fart flying around here. No D&D questions. You got.
How many players can you have in D&D?
As many as your fucking brain can handle. Theoretically, unlimited.
How much of my imagination do I have to use?
All of it. Rod of Alertness. This sounds like a good porno. Let's see. This rod has a flanged head. While you hold the rod, you can perceive things extra fancy. The rod has detect good and evil. That doesn't sound very porno-ish. Detect poison. It's got a protective aura. Wouldn't you want it to have a it comes with its own condom, I guess there is what I'm trying to say. Rod of Alertness. You guys got 20 seconds to ask D&D questions. This is a missed opportunity here.
Are we allowed to get naked, or how many D&D games do we have to do before we can do that?
You have to get consent, and it's up to your DM how graphic he wants to be. If you want to get double penetration, we'll have to talk about double penetration in D&D next time. Thanks for calling, bye.
Thank you, Bontrager. I learned some things. That was good. Please get the vaccine so his whorehouse can open back up, so that he's not just doing anything anymore. Our next meeting coming up. Please welcome April Waltershed.
You got it. Whoa.
Yeah.
First one this year. Wow. I wish I had a prize for you. So I'm a vegan, and I did, while you guys were doing comedy, I did make some vegan mac. It tastes like grass, like just grass off of a lawn. So that's how vegan it is. It's really yummy. So my name's April, named after March. And yeah, I'm really vegan. I spend $600 at Whole Foods, and I live in LA, and that's not a good combination. I had to get a room there. I had to get an aisle there because I just was paying rent basically. So I had aisle 13 to myself. I listened to a lot of meditations. I pretty much have the same set as someone else I heard earlier, and I was listening. I'm that's my set. So meditations, and this is Gilbert Gottfried doing beach meditation. Here we go. Get ready. It's intense. Close your eyes and bring yourself to a calm, quiet place in your mind. Just stay there, okay? Do I have anything in my teeth? I just ate something. I put Montreal steak seasoning in it because it's vegan and you have to add more salt to make it good. Anyway, you're all gonna die alone in COVID-19. Like, that's really, wow. Oh man, it's giving me nightmares. I got insomnia. My eyes doing weird things. So there's that. And then I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I don't even really want to. It's just like there on my phone. I'm like, let's learn about this. It's all election stuff, but a lot of YouTubers use intros that are like overly optimistic and they're always like excited. They're always like, I'm so excited to tell you about how my parents divorced. Let me show you. And then they're like, let me show you guys how I'm so excited to show you how I'm going to die alone. They're always so excited. Like, how many, like, and some of them have hundreds of videos and like 15 million followers. And I'm like, how excited are you? I'm so excited that I don't want to do this anymore. I have all the money I could ever make. Like, some of these YouTubers have like a brick and mortar store. Like James Charles has like a brick and mortar store in LA. By the way, I moved to LA right at the best time, right on March 16th when like the lockdown started. So that's pretty cool. I was doing an open mic on the way to LA from Phoenix. I have gone to Chicago, by the way, but just in between Arizona and Florida. We got like a really good discount flight. When I was younger, my parents were like, we want to spend $200 to go to Florida. So it had like 5 stops. One of them was Chicago. We landed at Midway Airport and we sat on the runway for 2 hours. And that's it. That's my memory of Chicago. I never have gotten out. And I just heard earlier that I shouldn't even go there. So, or visit or move, you know. I think I'll end on this. My grandma, this is like, does everyone in Chicago smoke? Hear me out. My grandma died of cancer, like lung cancer, because she smokes. She had like a 4-pack a day habit. She's from Ohio, so I mean, that's close. You know, I figured like everyone smokes or something. I could be wrong. But I have a 4-can-a-day LaCroix habit, so I'm going to die of natural flavors. Okay, guys, bye.
Yeah, thank you, Walter Shad. Yeah, 2 hours on a runway at Midway is the true Chicago experience, everybody. That is where they take you on all the tours. They take you to Lou Malnati's and then the airport runway.
Yeah, and you still get shot at.
Yeah, oh, you get shot at. That's the whole point. Oh, no, not everyone in Chicago smokes, but everyone in Ohio does smoke, and everybody in Kentucky still smokes indoors. That's what I've learned through my travel.
Ew.
It's great. It's great. You go on vacations like going to another country. It's great. Our next community coming up, I'm looking on, wait, where'd they go? Oh, I'm so bad at this. I've been doing this for so long. Who am I even looking for is the first question. Okay. I'm looking for Amber. Oh, wait, you're under, okay. Please welcome Josh DiDonato again.
Oh, okay.
What?
It's a callback.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Oh.
Because he looked for me again, yeah. All Josh DiDonato deep down. I couldn't get a D&D question in there edgewise. Ian was all over them, but like, I guess the main question with D&D is like, why? Yeah, I guess the main thing I really think is like, why work so hard to escape IRL when there's like video games, porn, and drugs? Like, it's a lot of work. You have to read a whole book and like do things and meet up. It seems like a lot of work just to be escapist. I don't know. That's the real deep question. I was thinking about recently, speaking of, no reading, unless you're the DM, whatever. Sorry, I date a lot of nerds. I was thinking about, I don't watch a lot of porn personally. I'm a pretty sexual person, but like sex scenes in general make me uncomfortable at some degree. Like even in movies, it's like over dramatized to be like weird and like artificial and overly emotional, or it's like rapey and uncomfortable. But by far, I think the worst sex scenes, I realize, the ones that really make my skin crawl, is when they're like trying to have a baby. You know those movies where she's like, just fuck me, I'm ovulating, it's time. And they both look all dead in the eyes and stuff. It's so, ugh. It's like a horror movie. I don't know. Also, just because I work so hard not to get pregnant, I don't know. Why would you do that? I just don't get it. It's really interesting I was thinking about this, to be a female in the comedian scene. Yeah, there's some like ladies here tonight. Cool, like, yeah. 2. What? Mind blowing. Yeah, I feel like the big thing you notice right away is that, like, yeah, the ratio is way off. We're like over 50% of the population, but repping like 10 to 20%. And then the second thing I've noticed is like hosts really like my outfit, like right before I go on stage. I don't know if anyone else has felt this, like really fashion strong, but like right before you go on stage. You know what I mean? No. The other thing is, like, everyone's an unofficial HR rep. I think as a female comic, you get a little bit more of, hey, don't fuck comics. Did you guys get that talk? No, none of the male comics got the don't fuck comics talk. I feel like, it's really interesting. Usually it's like females that feel like they made that mistake and are like trying to help you out, like, hey, don't do that. Or it's dudes that are like half trying to make that mistake in the conversation. They're like, don't fuck comics. Unless you were thinking about fucking me, then, you know, open. Yeah, that shit happens. That's happened at least 3 times. They're like, don't fuck comics, but like, let's hang out sometime. Like, what? Yeah, the thing about that is I'm a 40-year-old woman, so no one gets to tell me who I do or do not fuck. That's crazy. Thank you. Yeah, and it's none of your fucking business, as the late great Salt and Pepper philosopher said. It's none of your fucking business. And like, moreover, it's like the threat of it is perceived like power dynamic, and it's like, I'm not intimidated. I've heard your guys' material, and like, if anything, I feel like I'd be taking advantage of you. Like, I don't feel like it's a concern. I'll end on one thing. I just was listening to a podcast about stuttering, and it reminded me I have this thing about, like, I find stuttering in a dude like very attractive, and it's not as creepy as it sounds. I don't think it's like a disability thing. It's just like this, like, you're talking to them and then they like hold on one word for a really long time, like they make you wait for the end of the idea. So like a verbal edging dom subplay, but like verbally. Cool. That's called closer. I'll end on that. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Amber Gill performing as Josh DiDonato.
We're all
changing their name to Josh DiDonato, and that just means if you perform, I'm going to send 1 minute warnings to everybody named Josh DiDonato. So it's going to be, and I'm never going to find you either, but keep it up. We'll keep simulating. It's the Josh DiDonato simulation. All pretending to be Josh tonight. We should do that one week. Fastest minute, everyone do their Josh impression. It'll be great. Our next comedian coming up has a baby on his lap. Please welcome Gregory Matthews.
Oh, and he's a cranky baby. We're gonna try to get through this. This is what you do when you parent. It's been a rough night tonight. There's the other two are one's 4, one's 2, and they are in the bedroom and they are just screaming right now. And now I would never hit a kid, but I get it. It's fucked up. No. Look at this. I'm not abusing my children. So some current events for you guys. The Big Ten canceled football this year and then brought it back a few weeks ago. And Penn State is 0-4 right now. And this is the worst thing to ever happen to Penn State football program. At least according to every Penn State fan who was willing to ignore a child molester who used the program to groom victims. That was much worse, in my humble opinion. Kamala Harris dated Montel Williams in 2001. Did you guys know that? Yeah. I have no punchline. That's not a joke. I just think everyone should know that. It blows my mind how worlds are connected, and now she's in the Oval Office, and just fantastic little factoid for you. All right. Whenever I don't get laughs, I like the joke more, which is problematic because I'm told that's not exactly the way you're supposed to be doing this. But that's how I do open mics. So anyway, after I graduated from college, I moved to New Hampshire for a job. I worked in direct marketing. It was as bad as it sounds. New Hampshire sucks. And so I did what everyone does to pass the time when they're bored as fuck. I downloaded a beat machine and started rapping. So after doing this for a while, this is true, after doing this for a while, I decided to see how hard it would be to release an actual album. Turns out it's super easy. You can basically record anything you want and get it on Spotify, iTunes, any platform that you want, which means that I have 2 Fat Greggy albums that just rack up royalties. So every 18 months, you can go look this up. Every 18 months, I get a direct deposit for $10 to my bank account. And then I do what all rappers do with their money. I buy a small part of a sports team and pretend that I'm the primary owner. I see you, Jay-Z. You only own 1/15 of 1%. That's 0.067%. But you pretend like you own it.
Yeah.
I like that joke a lot. What do you think, bud? All right. Oh, and here's the best lyric I ever wrote was, even the guy who cuts my lawns got it made because I pay $100 a blade because I have a ton of money. It's as stupid as it sounds. I absolutely hate it when couples who are struggling decide to get separated instead of divorced. I think it's total bullshit and that people should stop being cowards and do the right thing. Kill their spouse for the insurance money in such a way that it makes a great episode of Forensic Files. I hate cowards. When a homeless man living outside our apartment, there was a homeless man living outside our apartment for a few weeks, like a few years ago, and everything was fine until he started to make it clear that he knew who our 2-year-old daughter was and he bought her a gift. That gift was a gallon of milk. People say that it's the thought that counts, but that doesn't apply when a homeless guy buys your toddler a gallon of milk. Now, to be clear, the guy didn't actually give me the milk. He gave the milk to our neighbor. And now the correct thing to do when a homeless man gives you a gallon of milk is to either ignore them. And if you're not going to ignore them, you thank them and you immediately throw the milk away, but not our neighbor. You ever know someone who is so nice it's obnoxious? What do you call those people? Practicing Christians. Well, so this guy takes the milk, and instead of giving it to us because we're busy, he leaves it on our stairs. And so I did what any mature man would do, and I left it there for 4 days because I'm a man of principles. And the main principle I live by is that the milk of a homeless guy gave me for you isn't my fucking problem. That's just who I am. Thank you. I'm Gregory Matthews. We made it without you making too much noise.
Thank you, Gregory Matthews. I founded this mic, God, six years ago, 6 years ago with Mike Coffey. He's not performing anymore, but he had a joke, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but the 3 steps to a late in life rap career are: 1, buy a drum machine; 2, write the lyrics; and 3, get a divorce. That's basically where you're at. That was a true story from one of his bits, and it was a true story from his friends. Oh boy, we're gonna keep going. Our next community coming up, please welcome Valerie Apperson.
Speaking of divorce, I need to get one of those, but I haven't done it yet because he's a firefighter, and I figure it's only a matter of time. Hey. So my parents are in a cult, and sometimes I want to get them out of the cult, but then it's like they're gonna want to come over. And I don't know if I even really like them as people, if I'm quite honest. I mean, one of them went into the military, and I'm not a very big fan of the military. It's a lot of fighting to make money when you could just do it on Wall Street. I mean, there's other ways. But, arms dealing is good though. It's almost as good as drug dealing. Or I don't know who makes more money. But if you do, put it in the comments. I think drug dealers make more money. No, I think the reverse. And then everybody fights and it's a whole thing, and Facebook takes advantage of it. I saw a lady, she was drunk and she was being carried out of a restaurant. And it made me miss drinking because now I have to walk everywhere, like all by myself. I do miss drinking. I miss, like, I at least felt funny, you know. I don't think I was funny because I was talking to my friend and she was drunk and I couldn't even understand her. So it's like the amount of patience people had for me is incredible. And also what's incredible is that we were both that drunk and yet we maintained a long distance friendship for 3 years and we still know exactly what we were both talking about. I don't know how you do it, but it's the stuff friendships are made out of. A mixed race, or I don't know, biracial or whatever, but you know, a lot of times people ask me some really insensitive questions, like, what are you doing in my car? Or why are you drunk during the day? What are you doing with my child? Where are you going with my child? Come back. And that's where, come here, little Timmy. Wouldn't that be crazy if I just had like a kid right here, just on hand? No, I really stole a kid, you guys. I really did. My parents are in a cult, so the only thing they passed down to me was the family recipe for Kool-Aid. It's 2 parts Diet Fresca. And just kidding, they don't drink poison, they don't. They just love with absolute conditions. It's fine. They don't celebrate holidays either. But so now I pick and choose which holidays I want to celebrate. And I do them badly and without any respect at all. It's not meant to be disrespectful, but I'm also like not going to follow somebody else's rules starting now. What else can I tell you? I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, so naturally I went into advertising. And so far, so good. So far, so good.
Yeah, that was time. I got in.
All right.
Thank you, Valerie Epperson.
Thanks.
Don't steal any kids, but I think Gregory might let you babysit one of his screamers right now.
Oh, the kids. I wanted to say that we should put some white kids in cages just to balance it out once we go.
He's gonna cage that kid up tonight. We're gonna keep rolling. A lot of people are sticking around for the 10 minutes. This is gonna be a good one. Have a feeling it's gonna be a really, really good one. Our next comedian is performing lay down comedy, which I really love about Zoom. Please welcome John Moskowitz.
Yeah, thank you very much. Give it up for our host for doing this and putting it together. I wanted to say your name and thank you, but this is my first time doing this one, so I forgot your name, and all I could say is thank you, Josh D. Donato.
Yeah.
But I know that's not you. I am aware of that. Dude, this is weird. We're about to have, in like a few months, we're gonna have an average president. I haven't, in my entire life, I haven't had an average president. I only remember 3 of them, right? And the first one, Bush, his vice president openly ran a mercenary army, and I don't think that's normal. I don't know for sure because, once again, I only know the 3 presidents, but I don't think that's normal. Then we had our first black president, and then we had the last guy who I haven't written any jokes about yet, and it would be really weird if I started now. I was just like, this is my time. Now that it's less relevant, it's my time to write about it. Be very weird, man. It's weird that we're about to have this average president. Like today, NPR ran a story about butterflies. They've been trying to get that on the air for 16 years. It just hasn't been a break in the news cycle to get that on the air. They've been trying to run that story since September 10th, 2001. And there just hasn't been any gap in the news there, man. So I'm based in LA right now. I actually moved here mid-pandemic. which is yeah, a crazy thing to do. Yeah, I'm based here now. So we spend $3 when we buy a carton of eggs. That's way more than most of you, I'm guessing? Yeah, no. I spend $3 on a carton of eggs, which means each egg is 25 cents, which I just don't understand how then they're selling me a whole chicken for $7. Dude, how are you raising a chicken for $6.75? That's crazy, dude. I have a disabled dog. Dude, look at her. She's got like maybe like one man's lunch at most. One man's lunch at most. And it's like $100 a month to keep her alive, dude. They're raising all these chickens for $6.75. That's crazy. Dude, if it's that cheap to raise a chicken, why are we letting people eat eggs? I don't understand. Dude, why can't we just make everyone eat chickens and then we could feed everybody? It'd be a better idea. I don't want to talk about moving out here. There's new shit I have to. Okay. I am Jewish, and everyone's like, "Oh, John, that's great because you do comedy and the Jews run the media," which is not true. The Jews don't run the media. Some Jews run the media. Some Jews run the media, and the rest of us were performing in parking lots before this. Some Jews run the media. You actually, people don't know this, you still need a stage name as a Jew in show business. My stage name is John Moskowitz, which is extremely Jewy, but it's nothing compared to my real name, which is actually Jesus Christ. I'll say this, and I don't have time to finish this, so it's okay to cut me off, but I'll say this as a Semite. No Jew camps are good, not the ones they run, not the ones we run. None of them are good. All right, I don't have time to actually get into that joke. Thank you for hosting. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, John Moskowitz. Hey, John, we do the fastest minute. You get another minute coming up in probably about 15 minutes. So if you stick around, you could try to squeeze that joke in real quick. But no, a little life hack is order from restaurant supply companies. The eggs are like literally free. They just give you like cartons for the same price you would pay. I worked for a restaurant supply company, and they were throwing out eggs at the beginning of COVID because no one was going to restaurants. So that's what you can do. Also, why are chickens so cheap to raise? Because of farm subsidies. That's why. That's exactly why. And that's why farmers keep voting red, because they like socialism for farmers only, right? It's not just a website. It's also socialism, farmers only. Oh, I'm gonna get some actual literal pitchforks marching outside my house for that one. Please welcome our next comedian, Gary Hughes.
You can also steal the eggs. Like, just take the carton of eggs. It's pretty easy. I used to steal from Target. I used to steal PlayStation 2 games. I stole like Jackson Daxter, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, Metal Gear Solid 2, and some other one. SSX is like a snowboarding game. And it was like in 7th grade. And I remember being with my friend, and we had no money, but we spoke like we had money. He's like, "Hey, you want to go to Walgreens and get some candy?" He was like, "Yeah." And we're like talking like we have money. And we go over to Walgreens, and I get caught stealing candy. And that was my last day stealing ever. He was like, "Do you have candy in your pocket?" I was like, "No." And then he just lifts up my shirt. This big ass Twix bar is hanging out my pocket. And then he just took me upstairs, and it was embarrassing for my family. Anyway, that's my stealing story. And then I went on to steal at local liquor stores. It's real easier. It's closer to the house. But yeah, just steal. Anyway, my girlfriend, she asked me what kind of porn do I watch, right? And I got like she was crossing the lines. Like, it's pretty personal. And she's like, "Well, because we could spice things up in the bed. I'm going to be the person you do it to in real life." And I had to like tell her, like, "Babe, my fantasy is better than my real life. Like, you can't beat my fantasy. Don't even try to beat my fantasy. I majored in theater. I'm raised in Oakland. I need imagination to make it through both of those things. Don't even think you could. The dude plays D&D. I'm past D&D. I could build a whole motherfucking universe in my head. Don't even try it." So I felt bad for her. I'm also in Wednesday, actually in a few days, we're driving to Baltimore to meet her family. I'm driving with her family. Like I'm driving 3 white people and her brother's a priest. That shit's gonna be weird. Anyway, I'm driving with these people, and people told me we're driving to the South. They was like, "Yo, you should get a green book," and the green book is a book that's like made in the Jim Crow era for Black people to travel through the South safely. You guys have probably all heard this joke before. You travel through the South safely, like, hey, this is a sundown town. This restaurant accepts Black people, but I'm very realistic. It's 2020, you know, so I'm gonna get a green audio book. Kind of simple. It's gonna be like, hey, I'm the Black man that's gonna help you get through the South safely. All right. Now we're in Texas. Do not stop at that Denny's. Do not stop at that Denny's. They don't like Black people, and they undercook their pancakes. Their pancakes. Yeah. Anyway, I gotta figure out an end to that racial thing. You know what's funny, bro? Before the pandemic, I had invited. If you ever been to a Black church, like a Christian church, we be jamming. Like my pastor would he would start standing on the pews and walking. Like everybody would get up, and he'd just walk on the pews. And if you bring a white person to a Black church, they just like with that camera, they just so happy to see us like having fun. It's like almost going to the zoo to them. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I get to see y'all natural habitat. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. All right, white people holding cameras. I get so lonely. Sometimes you catch me, I'll be like, Siri, and it's like, yes, just making sure you there. Making sure you there. Anyway, my name is Gary Hughes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Gary makes a great point. You could always steal. It's a lot cheaper, but if you steal, don't steal from mom and pop places, steal from large corporations, because you're actually helping mom and pop places. And you're actually not just hurting corporations, you're hurting every baby boomer with a 401k that has owned stock in those places too. So please steal from Target. I'm going to steal from Target and help us all out. Our next comedian coming up is performing under Josh donation. Please welcome Dan Wienko.
Hey, Josh. Josh, thanks for having me. Good to see you, Josh. I haven't seen you in a bit. It's good to see you, fam. Josh, been a while. You know. Anyway, yeah, my name's Dan. I want to talk to you guys about. I know Halloween seems like it was 2 years ago, but it was like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. Did anybody forget that they put a costume on their dog? I gotta tell you this really crazy thing that happened to me. I got so scared. Anyway, here, let me tell you what happened. There's no kids, right? We have no kids. Me and my girlfriend, the kids are at the other parents, so we have Halloween to ourselves. So we buy a silly costume for the dog and we dress it up. That's not, it's a thing you can do. Anyway, I didn't think anything of it. Throw the dog outside in the backyard. And then, so now what do you want to do? My girlfriend's been wanting me to watch Naked and Afraid, like for a really long time. She's like, I know we could do this show. We could do it together. And she's like, so let's have some drinks and we'll have some edibles and we'll just watch Naked and Afraid, see if you like it. And I thought it was going to be a show about Burning Man. But it's not. It's a show about two people going into the woods and all they have is nothing and each other. So we watched that for a while and the buzz started to kick in and there's a lot of action in those shows. I mean, there's lions and bears and alligators and bugs. Oh my God, the bugs. Anyway, it looks like a real mess. So I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, that doesn't look like any fun to me. I'd rather just stay on this couch and keep watching these people have a horrible time. So we did that for a while. And we've been having problems in the backyard with skunks and possum and raccoons. I mean, everything's in our backyard and they're a problem. Like, they kind of throw you off. So we're getting loaded and I go to open the back door and I have a really firm buzz going on. And I open up the back door and out of the darkness of the yard, at a hot 17 miles an hour, comes flopping ferociously this thing that looks like a rabbit that ate a sheep with a leopard cross mutant mix. And it's coming at me so fast. I made a sound that it's probably the beginning of the end of my relationship with my girlfriend. I haven't been laid since Halloween. I probably won't get laid for like another 2 months. The sound I made was pure fear in life. Like I thought I was gonna die. I yelled, and she thought I was kidding. She's like, "Oh, that was really funny." I thought you were kidding. I was like, "No, I wasn't." For 2 seconds, it was straight up terror in my body, and this thing came running at me. And then, of course, it gets a little closer, and I realize, oh, that's the dog. That's the dog we dressed up. Isn't that kind of weird? Jeez, of course, and I had to play it off. But the sound I made was undeniable, and I've tried to do it a couple times when I've told this story, but it hurts my throat, and nobody else needs to ever hear that sound again. So anyway, that's a little story I wanted to share. Thanks for having me, guys. It's great to see you. Josh, thank you.
Thank you, Dandy DeWanko. That's your new nickname. I just want to point out that everybody changed their name to Josh DiDonato, and he has not been on camera this whole time. There he is in the background. Oh my God, it's a sighting. It's a sighting of he just there, a pink shirt. There's Josh. There's Josh in the background.
Not about him.
Look at that. Whoa!
Oh my God, we got it. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. That is not the right.
It's one of many.
Hey guys, we're almost at the fastest minute. Our next comedian needs to start his video. Kevin, you joined. Where are you, Kevin? Otherwise, I'm going to start the fastest minute, and you're going to go at the end of it. I can't show his picture. I would show his picture because it looks psychotic. He looks like he is on every drug and got arrested for it and is happy about it. That's what it looks like. So we're just gonna start the fastest minute because Kevin is missing in action. This is going to be so difficult because I don't know who's the real anything. We're gonna start out with the producer and owner and host of the mic, Josh DiDonato, the original. Go.
Man, yeah, I guess I missed a bunch of. It's weird. Yeah, we've just been packing. I'm like moving my house, getting ready to move to Atlanta, and so I did my set, and then I lied down and I took a nap, and I had the craziest dream that like everybody changed their name to my name. So I'm just like really disoriented. Do you guys remember when the ozone layer had vanished and all the humans on Earth burned alive? Oh, sorry, too soon? Because it's literally, see, that's not going to happen for 4 or 5 years.
I get it. It hasn't happened yet. That's the punchline. All right, here I go. Let's talk about the Soviet Union. Okay, they came in second place during the Cold War, but to me, they came in first place for the national anthem war. Da, 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 da. It's beautiful. It's in a time signature that doesn't suck, and you can make a trap remix out of it. The Anacrusis makes it a little tough, but it's not bullshit time signature like America. Da, 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 da. How about get a 3/4 time? That's the worst time signature. It's 3/4. Get that 3. You can't make a trap remix out of that. Bullshit. Go for the Soviet. That's the better trap remix. We need it. We need to vamp up our anthem game because whoever wrote our anthem, fucking stupid.
Josh DiDonato, get on down, Jelly Bean.
Really?
Yes, really.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
You're muted.
It's guerrilla warfare. That's what the movie, The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, is about. And my cousin, he said to his boss to ask him for promotion, and then just let the chips fall where they may. But unfortunately, he's fired immediately. He works at the packing shop of Lay's. And okay, that's it. That's short.
Please welcome Josh DiDonato.
Yay! Hey, yeah, I've been doing a lot of visualization. I've been visualizing my spirit animal, which is a lot lizard. I got my tattoos in my wild days, and now I'm in my mild days. I used to be up for anything. Now I'm up past my bedtime. Now I'm just a lady that got drawn on. I'm like a cautionary tale from a frat party, but with less semen. But I remember my aunt was like, what are you gonna, what were you thinking? I was like, that I was gonna go home with a lot more lead singers and a lot less roadies. And then my mom's like, what are you going to do when you get old? I'm like, probably work with a cash register and a smock like everybody else. All right, that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you, Josh. Please welcome Patty Mansbach.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I had a couple of years ago, I was in the Peace Corps in Senegal in West Africa, and then I lived with a host family. And during the election, they saw the news, and they were very worried about me. It was very sweet. They had to call me up just to make sure that I was okay. And they're like, checking. I was like, I'm okay. Don't you guys still have malaria? Like, what are you, like, I don't know, maybe you're putting the eggs in the wrong basket. Let's see, but somebody in my apartment building, they put a sign that says, like, don't steal my cat food, blah, 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 blah. So I wrote a poem that says, I have eaten the cat food that was in front of you, in which you were probably saving for your feline. Forgive me, it was delicious, so fishy and so cold. Just... Okay, that was really funny, okay? That's how you know it's a good joke, but I have to end with that was really good. It was the William Carlos Williams reference. That's how you fight passive aggressiveness, just with literary. I'm out. Get to the next person.
Thank you, Patty Mansbach. Please welcome Josh DiDonato.
Oh, it's my turn. That's me. Yeah. I've been really, not to brag too much, dick blessed, very dick fortunate. Last 2 weeks, I met someone. My friends are like, you deserve this, like as though like 5 bad dick experiences equals like 1 good dick experience. For the case, I would be like so dick rich. But yeah, the dude I'm hooking up with, I don't know, I like stored enough for like the winter. I'm like a camel or camel, if you will. He has what I would call like refrigerator light dick. Which is like, every time I've seen it, it's just always on. Like you open the door and it's on. Like I've never seen it off, you know what I'm saying? He's also one of these people who's like, oh, I have a lot of trouble coming. And I'm like, oh no, do you? Like you just keep going and going, that's awful. If you didn't pick up on this, he is younger than me. He's a bit of a cub. I was thinking about the term cougar recently, although I've embraced it in the past. I feel like it is kind of frustrating. I'm defensive now. Like he's like, yeah. It's like if I was a guy, I'd just be like unremarkable. But as a woman, it's like a term or a thing. I'll just end on this. I feel like he's very mature for his age. He's kind of like super depressed, and everyone, you wouldn't think this, it's very counterintuitive, but 2 depressed people in bed is like the hottest shit ever because we both like fuck like we hope there's no tomorrow. Mom makes all know that. The baby knows that. That's why the baby's here. Thank you guys.
All right, this baby will not stop screaming. Maybe this will make you just listen to the baby scream for a minute. Einstein used to work at. You just gonna
remix.
Am I muted? Am I going? Is it me?
Yes, you're going.
What a disaster. Einstein used to work. Is it really me? Einstein used to work a menial job in a patent office, which means that he was the 1 in a billion that was an actual genius working a shit job. So it's not you, Steve, in accounts payable. Final Fantasy is a video game about a dying man masturbating. Am I muted?
No.
It's just not funny. I love that joke. Then I'm done. I'm done. I had more, but this baby is preventing everything from happening.
Yeah,
All right.
Blame the baby.
Trying to get Valerie Epperson up, but her video is not started. So I'm gonna go to John Moskowitz real quick.
Thank you very much. Okay, forget everything all of you just said. We're back at Jew camp. I'm doing the same bit. Jewish camp. It's all funded by this one organization. There's one charity that funds and sends most of the kids for free. And the purpose of this charity is to reproduce more Jews to make up for the Holocaust. And the way they do this is they run camps for 9-year-olds. And everyone's okay with this. I just remember being like a little kid, being like 9 and stuff, and then being like, well, you have to go ask a Jewish girl out. And I'd be like, well, I just learned what basketball is. I'd like to focus on that for a while. And then they'd be like, no, you got to continue our race. And I'd be like, oh, I'm 10, And it was just not good. I think, look, the point I'm trying to make is like any mensch, Jeffrey Epstein found his true love at summer camp. All right. Thank you.
Hey, John Moskowitz again. I'm Gary Hughes. Go.
Yeah, I work at a coffee shop. Younger people. I finally found out what whippets are, like the nitrogen cartridges. And I found out because one of my coworkers were like, "Hey, go take your break," and we need him to charge whipped creams. And she just always grabs a bunch of cartridges before her break, and she goes to the bathroom with the empty whipped cream. And we're like, "Hey, what you doing?" And she's like, "I'm gonna wash this out in the sink in here." We're like, "Okay." And then she just comes out floating, just straight high. Yeah. So I complain about young people getting high while I'm working. Them bastards. I'm at a 9 to 5. Don't be doing that shit while I'm working, making my ends meet. You know what I'm saying? I'm already mad I'm here. Man, go to the next person, man.
Oh, man. Gregory Matthews, man. The line that you nailed there was, this baby is preventing everything from happening. I'd hang on to that one. Yeah, I look like Guile from Street Fighter 2 who just got to the retirement home. Oh, it's 2020 when you have to go to 3 different stores to find a Get Well card. I mean, seriously, who's taking up all the toilet paper and all the Get Well cards? But who's writing notes and mailing them and reaching out? Seriously, I'm going for Get Well cards. I figured by the second stop, I would just settle and go for a sympathy card, but those were gone too. So, I don't know. I invented an app. It's called Scat Chat. It's about people shitting in weird, crazy places, like on top of a bicycle seat or the hood of a cop car. Anyway, yeah, I got some inside information. It's dropping tomorrow after lunch. That's it. Go.
Hey, Dan, we go, guys. Our next game was on the list. I'm going to let him do a set. And that's one thing I miss about doing this live, too, is when you call someone's name and they're in the bathroom and they come out like zipping up their pants. They're running, wait. Like it's the like to get bumped back one. They're like, no. So please welcome. I guess it can happen on virtual mics, too. Please welcome Josh D. Dokevo.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kevin Kelm. I work in radio. That's why I have this t-shirt. This is a Loop 97.9 t-shirt, a radio station that's dead. Most of the t-shirts I have in the closet next to me are radio station t-shirts. It is a perk of the business. When not shooting them out of guns, I use them to mop up the floor or clothe my body. So that's where I am with it. But radio is a hard business. It's all I wanted to do when I was a little kid. I used to sleep next to the stereo. In my room. Mom said, you were the child who smiled and slept. You would sleep next to the stereo. You would smile and sleep. The Child Who Smiles and Sleeps is a Stephen King novel that hasn't been written yet. It's terrifying, all right? My brain poisoned by overnight AM radio, just waking up in the middle of the night at 8 years old yelling, "Cash for gold, Mom, cash for gold." So fast forward to the present, I got to work on radio. I work for a radio station in here in town called 101 WKQX Q101. It's all I ever wanted to do when I was a kid. So now I'm on it. And then I got the woman. I love her, and she loves me, and I love my job. I got everything right where I wanted, everybody. But then she says, no, we ain't doing that anymore. That's right. She broke up with me while I was on the radio. with this type of microphone while I was on the radio, all right, while she's drunk with her girlfriends in St. Louis. Now, Valerie, what is the worst part of that? That I was on the radio? No. That she was drunk, that she was with her girlfriends? No. St. Louis? Fucking St. Louis? You're going to ruin my life? Go somewhere nice. Go somewhere. St. Louis is a city that grew out of a Walmart parking lot. What the hell are you doing with yourself? You have the money? Go to France. Go to France. FaceTime me. Let me see the Eiffel Tower over your shoulder. You're getting it from some dude named Andre off camera. That's it. You know, want to be local? Go to the Dells. Go to Wisconsin Dells. Go down a water slide. I hear a splash. You tell me I'm emotionally distant. We're done. All right. That's it. No, you have to do it while I'm on the radio. And here's the thing. When you're an alternative rock radio station, all the songs are about everything you're going through. It's the soundtrack. You're hosting the soundtrack for the worst day of your life. And this songs are hitting. Every single song you've been listening to for 25 years is about everything you're going through. Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, Not a Real Street, but you live on it now, Kevin. You live on it now. All right, got to get on air, Kevin. Got to get on air. Come on, Kev. Got to get them out to that suburban car dealership. They got to come and get those free T-shirts, Kevin. Don't you cry, Kevin. Don't you cry. You're going to press the button and you're not going to cry. You're going to press the button. You're not going to cry. Here we go. Click. 101 WKQX. You deserve the band Pearl Jam. With the song called Daughter. Oh, Daughter, that's something nice. That's something I'm never going to have in my life. I just found that out. I just found, all right, Kate, we're going to be at the O'Reilly Auto Parts today in Orland Park from 12 to 3. If you want to come out, that would be great. We're going to be giving away free beer koozies. And if you guys want a free beer koozie, just remember the phrase that pays is "fuck you, Lindsay." Really. She loved beer koozies. One time we didn't want to go to our parents' Thanksgiving, so we had Koos-giving and we gave each other hot dogs instead of a beer koozie. So if I give you a beer koozie, could you give it to her with a note on the inside? Because she's no longer responding to text messages. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Okay, come on out. 12 to 3. Okay, let's get back into the music. Who wants to rock? You guys ready to rock? Yeah, you're here for the music. That's what you want. No one wants me, apparently. Okay, all right. This next one is Blink-182. I Miss You. Who the fuck is picking the songs? It's been 3 years and I've been doing great. You know what I mean? It's been 3 years. I'm doing great. Back to the room. Go.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kevin, or Josh D. DeCavo. Guys, thank you for coming out. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed this greatly. This is Josh D. Donato signing off.